Alright, so here on the top left of my screen we can see a classic animated GIF that roams the interwebs. And here's another one that I made myself in Fireworks. And here's a still picture turned into an animation using Adobe Fireworks. I'm going to kind of give you an idea on how to do all three of these. Well, first one I'll show you is something like this, which is created entirely in Adobe Fireworks. So you go to File, New, Size, whatever you want it to be, Canvas color, either white, custom, or transparent. The difference between white and transparent, I have an example right here. These things right here are transparent backgrounds. As you can see, the gray shows through on this one, the white shows through behind it. These two up here do not have transparent backgrounds, so that's the difference on that. Depends what you're wanting. So we'll just click OK. I'm going with white, no need for transparent. First we'll just draw a little stick figure. Get out a line tool here. It's a little small. Zoom in a little bit, make my line a little bigger. Down here's all the options. And this program is pretty good for making stick figures because once you have all your lines there, just get this white arrow tool and you can link them together. So when you link joints together, now they move as if it's a real arm or leg. But we all know it's not, it's all fake. Just like the cake, it's a lie. So on the first frame, I just get my little character set up here, and you can draw whatever you want in Fireworks. Be creative with it. Circle tool, I want it to be filled in. Boop! There, now he has a head. Oh, gray center, that'll do. So once we get that done, on the right, usually it'll have show layers or pages or something, but what you want here is states. The keyword is states. If you don't see it, just go up to Window and make sure states has a check mark next to it. So down here, once you have that, you're going to click on New/Duplicate State, and we'll just select this guy and copy him. Press Ctrl C and then paste him. Ctrl V is that, or you can go to Edit, Paste, Copy, which takes longer. So now we have two different frames which show the same thing. So on the second state, sorry I called it frames. They used to be called frames, but they changed to states over the years. Move his legs a bit. Move his arms. Alright, now as you can see we have two different states that kind of make it look like he's moving, so we're going to do another one. Just go ahead and copy him. And New Duplicate State. Paste him in there. And now we'll move his limbs a little bit more. Alright, whatever, it's not supposed to look perfect, it's just showing you how to do it. So once you have all your different frames of animating whatever it is you're trying to animate, you just go down here, press the play button. And there he goes, he's running away, and he'll just keep on doing that. Now he's going pretty damn fast, so if you want to make the animation slower, on the states, on the right is a number. Default it's 7. This is how fast the frame or the state is going to go. So just double click on it. We're going to change it to 12. And now play it. And he's going a little slower. Change it to 50. Now the frames are going much slower. So once you're done with that, you want to save a copy. So you just go to File, Save, and it saves it as a Fireworks project. And then you want to actually export it so you can view it on a web browser or use it for something else. So you go to Export Wizard, Continue, animated GIF. I want to make sure that's selected. Continue. And I went with black and white, so there's no need for color. Play it, preview it, make sure it's going. Yep, and it's pretty damn slow, just like we told it to be. And you click export and do all that. So I'm going to cancel because I don't actually want to save it. And then you have an animated GIF, which could look something like that. As you can see how I have lightsabers here, it's because I really spent some time on it, do all that stuff. That can all be achieved within Fireworks using all the different tools and colors and properties for each thing. Just gotta play around with it, get used to it. So we're done with that. Now I'm gonna move on to the next thing, which is making a still image like this into an animated image. So what I did was I split the single picture up into layers. So like I can move his bazooka around wherever I want, I can rip his head off, move it around wherever I want, and then it just stays like that for that one frame. And how I do that is I'll go back up to the very first frame where it's just one solid picture, and I'm going to get my lasso tool. First you want to make sure it's selected, so you gotta click on it. Once you have the blue box around it, you know it's selected. Get your lasso tool, and we're gonna be professional about it and zoom in some more. There we go. Wrong lasso tool. I prefer the polygonal one, so I can just click where I want. For the tutorial, I'm going pretty fast. Alright, so once it's selected around that, you don't have to worry about the background. Since it's all transparent on this one, it's not going to select anything outside of that area. It'll just grab right onto whatever is the actual image. So I'm going to go to Control X, which is cut. So you could also go edit, cut, same thing. Then Control V, paste it back in there. Again, you just go to edit, paste if you don't want to use the hotkeys. And if you're using a Mac, you press that one button. I don't know what it was called. I guess the Apple button or something. So once you've cut it and then pasted it back in there, it will now be on a separate frame, which can be moved separately from the original image. And I just did that with all his limbs, like his legs and his foot, so they're all bendable. Now a little trick, once it's out of there, you'll notice there's a big gap here, so to kind of fix that, go over here, hold down the blur, and go to smudge. And you can kind of, here, my cursor's a little big, so you go down to properties. As you can see, I can kind of smudge it, kind of like you would in Photoshop. There. So now I've done some smudging. Normally it's right here. Well, I can raise it up a bit, and there's still something behind it, so it doesn't look like, it doesn't show that it's just an image being cut away from the original image once you mess with that kind of stuff. So once you have all the limbs split apart, then it just takes the skill and practice part of being a good animator to move all those limbs apart. Like as you can see, his leg flies up in the air, the bazooka gives the impression that it's hitting the ground and bouncing a little bit. And then again you save it and then export it. So you go to Export Wizard, continue, continue, and you'd preview it, and then you'd export it and save it as whatever name you'd want it to be. Next one I'll show you was something like this, you know, taking video footage and turning it into a GIF that can be thrown on a forum or some other website and can just display on a web browser. So on this example, commonly if you see something that you'd want to turn into an animated GIF like this bear dancing around, you'd use a program meant specifically for converting, or you'd use an online converter that converts it to an animated GIF for you, so Google that stuff. But I found a way to do it using Fireworks and another video editing program. So for the example, I found this movie on my library, which is Starship Troopers, and there's this scene here where they're just looking at each other like that, and then he's looking at him, and it's very homoerotic. So I figured it would be a good idea to turn that into an animated GIF. So I brought it into my video editor. In my case is Adobe Premiere, which is sometimes bundled with Fireworks if you get an Adobe bundle. And I just exported frames, and I skipped like every 6 frames I export a frame. And then from there I have all these frames in this folder. So I made a new file in Fireworks, and I made it the same size that the video was in. So here we can see I just exported each frame that I had cut out of the video and threw it into a different state. And I'll go ahead and clear these last 3 just to show you that's exactly what I did. So I go back to my folder. So I get number, which number was that? 3rd one from the last. So I get this one, drag it in there, fits perfectly because it's the same size as the original video. Go to the next state, drag in the next picture, throw it in there, final picture. And then when you have all the frames in there, you just play it, and it just keeps on going, man. Look at that. The romance is just blooming. So I'm going to go ahead and save this because I'm so proud of it. Export wizard, continue, animated GIF. Give it a minute. And as you can see, there's some quality lost. You're going to get that occasionally because it can't support like high definition shit ton of colors is what I'm saying basically. But we're going to try to give it the best quality we can, so we're going to give it 256 colors instead of 129. See, it's a little bit better. You can try changing the palettes, see which one looks best. We're going to try exact, see if that's better. And the reason it degrades the quality is to save file size, which is one main importance of Fireworks, is to make things small files to be played on web browsers. That's good enough. We're going to play it. I like what I see here. I'm liking it. It's going a little too fast for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and change the speed. I could have done that in the export wizard, but I forgot that. So I just click the first one, hold shift, click the last one, selects them all. Double click that. Gotta make it 10 instead of 7. Go back to export wizard, animated. Give it a minute. Now we gotta reset our colors again. 256. That's pretty good right there. I'll just go with adapted instead of the exact palette. And like I was saying before, you can change the speed in the export wizard. I could have done it right here instead of closing out of it. So we'll click export, call it, save it to my desktop, call it Super Amazing Animated GIF. Save. It's done. Let's go find it on my desktop. There it is, Super Amazing Animated GIF. And there it is on my web browser. The .gif file taken from a movie. It's magical, I know. Alright, I guess we're done here. I might just check the description of this video. I might just put this on my website and give you a link for it if you want to use this GIF I just made. Okay, so we're done with the tutorial, so I'll just go ahead and show you this video that I used this bazooka guy in. So here is the example of that guy holding the bazooka I showed you. Look at the guys on the left. They were animated in Adobe Fireworks, and then I inserted them into this video. He dies, he falls back. If you want to check out this video, I'm sure there's an annotation on the screen right now. If not, I'll have a link in the description. And goodbye.